Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Hello everyone, welcome to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what we do on this channel, hit on the subscribe button, also put on the notification bell so you'll be notified by YouTube anytime we drop a new video. And if you are returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch our videos. On this platform, we drop videos every day and we react to every video that come our way. And on this very video, I will be watching with you. And after watching, let's go to the comment section and drop our opinion constructively. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible. See you next time in my next.
It was a criminal act for the president of Nigeria to forge her signature on the certificate he is parading. Dr. Daniel said in a document that she has finalized her papers to suit Tinubu but is only waiting for this institution to release his academic records to the former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, on Monday, as directed by the district judge Maldonado, before storming the court for her suit against Tinubu. The former Chicago State University president said she did not sign the controversial certificate which Tinubu presented to INEC during his nomination process last year, noting that she was not even a staff of the institution until 19 years after the certificate was forged. Daniel wondered how she could sign a certificate which was allegedly issued in 1979 when she actually began work at the institution in 1998. She said her plan to press a criminal charge against Tinubu was a result of the pressures by her family, friends, and associates to clear her name from allegations in the media that she was bribed by the embattled Nigerian president to sign the forged TSU document. She pressed further in the document that she never had any student by that name, Tinubu, throughout her stay as the president of the Chicago State University. Now, still on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a former Minister of Aviation, Chief Osita Chidoka, has disclosed that a United States court order directing the Chicago State University to release the academic records of President Bola Tinubu to the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 elections, Atiku Abubakar, is a national disgrace. The former co-marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission further observed that it was worrisome that authorities such as the Department of State Services, National Intelligence Agency, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the Embassy of Nigeria with its staff in Washington, D.C. could not unravel the circumstances over the academic history of the president, leaving a daunting task for Atiku to do. According to him, the leadership and relevant institutions of this country should bow their heads in shame if eventually it was discovered the occupier of the nation's #1 office forged his certificates, stressing that the development was both a national and international embarrassment. Who, he said, or which institution should have ordered the full investigation of the questionable certificate? Osita Chidoka stated, and I quote, "Considering that he did not present a primary or secondary certificate, should our courts be concerned with the technicality of the tendering process of the CSU certificate, or the disgrace and global moral damage a forged certificate would have wrought on Nigeria?" The former minister queried why did the nation's security system not conduct a discreet investigation and advise the candidate and INEC about the status of his certificate. He stated further, and I quote, "A few years ago, the DSS, in an act of institutional independence and courage, wrote to the Senate to reject Police Commissioner Ibrahim Magu as the EFCC chairman, not minding his nomination by a sitting president. This was based on their intelligence report of his nefarious conduct that pales into insignificance against a possible forgery case by a president. Why the silence now?" End quote. Now, to talk a little bit about this before we go into other top trending stories on the World News at 12 today, I actually have via the telephone a legal practitioner, a social affairs commentator, and a political enthusiast. His name is Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington, good afternoon and welcome to the World News at 12, right here in Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
Good afternoon, Esther. How are you?
I am fine. Happy Independence to you, Mr. Darlington. We must say Happy Independence to Nigeria.
Same to you, even though there's nothing happy about it.
Well, there's nothing we can do. We just have to celebrate our independence. Okay, let's start off with this particular scenario where the supposed El-Norah Daniel, the controversial El-Norah Daniel, who definitely, as we do know, was said to have been the one to file the documents that was tendered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's legal team. Apparently, as it is at the moment, she is saying that she intends to sue the president. Rather, she's waiting for the school to tender the academic records of the president to Atiku Abubakar today. Judge Nancy Maldonado, as of last night, we heard that she had asked the court, the United States court, to issue the academic records being asked by Mr. President, and that Mr. President should not file any appeal anymore in her court. She's saying that it has no local standard, neither does it have any merit, considering the appeal that was tendered by Atiku Abubakar's legal team and the purpose for which the former vice president said he was tendering that. Well, today we are hearing right now that this proposed El-Norah Daniel, who was the secretary at the time or supposed president at the time of the CSU, that is Chicago State University, is saying that she has never heard any one of that name. She's also saying that that is alleged forgery, and she is going to file a suit against him. I want to read out to you what she said she was going to do. She said that she does not know anyone of that particular name and that she is waiting for the release of the records to the Atiku Abubakar legal team. She is also saying that for her at this particular moment, considering the circumstances prevailing on ground, that she would at any point in time did not sign the controversial certificate which the president presented to INEC during his nomination process last year. And she also stated further that she was not even a staff of the institution until 19 years after the certificate was forged. So are we saying that the president's documents or the president dossier is getting messier? What does this spell for the president at this time?
Esther, the chicken has come home to roost now. You can see that I have told you here that the so-called strategy and wisdom and intelligence of Tinubu have come crashing. All the things he has been telling Nigerians over the years, you can see the result now. You can see that this is not only a national embarrassment, it has become an international embarrassment. I told you last week that this lady that they told us that certificate is going to sue Tinubu. I told you. And thank God, what I said has come to pass. Because if I were in her shoes, I would do the same thing. Because you cannot be too clever every time. I have told you that one of the reasons why this thing has gotten out of Nigeria is because we Nigerians, we have surrendered we are too docile. Our courts, our journalists, our human rights, we have been too docile. We don't follow people bumper to bumper.
No, Mr. Darlington, when you say we have been too docile, in what sense, please? I need you to explain that.
In the sense that it is we who allow this thing to get as far as the United States. If not, it will have been settled here.
Well, according to the INEC Electoral Act, it is only those, possibly the candidates, for example, the presidential candidates of these political parties are the ones who can actually file a case against this. I think there was an amendment of that. We had this conversation, I think, last week during the political spotlight, last week, Sunday. But when it is not something that the media can verify to ask questions. But digging further, we saw what Gani Fayemi did, late Gani Fayemi did at the time he dug further, and you saw how they were able to cover it up. So go ahead.
So that cover up is what has brought us this shame. Every Nigerian should be ashamed now. Because that is the number one image maker of Nigeria. Number one image maker. And you are telling investors to come into Nigeria. With what has happened now, how can they come? Esther, how can they come? Who are they going to discuss it? Have you seen why this thing is most embarrassing? A court in the United States is doing for us what our court here should have done all this while. There are so many lapses concerning Tinubu which nobody bothered to take care of. Nobody. All these lives would have been taken care of because it was obvious. This female gender that appeared in that, why didn't our court insist on it? And if Tinubu cannot give us a very good answer, then we can disqualify him.
All right, Mr. Darlington, for this particular El-Norah Daniel, it's been almost a month that this particular case has been in the U.S. court since Atiku Abubakar filed at the time asking the school to release the academic records of the president. El-Norah Daniel's name had come up on several occasions. Even when the school themselves said they couldn't authenticate the validity of that particular document, or rather the certificate, his academic records, her name was mentioned. We saw the president file several appeals mentioning the name of El-Norah Daniel. It was even proposed that she was the one that made a mistake on the president's academic record at the time, possibly because it was, manually imputed. So the question is, why is she coming out now to give her expression? Why hasn't she come out all this while that it was in the news, all this while that it was in the court, to clear her name?
Mary, when it comes to law, there are processes. When they come to legal matters, especially when you are going to court, there are processes. The lady was waiting for this time. You need to hear what she said. She said she was waiting for the courts, the university, to release those records to Atiku. She cannot obtain a copy. That is it now. As of now, those copies are not available to anybody. You need it as evidence if you are going to court that your name has been messed up. And the court will say, what name? Where is the evidence? It is not enough to say it in the media. That is what the lady was waiting for. And that's what we should have taken care of here. But we never did. So nobody should query that lady. Why is she coming up now? She was waiting. Over there are processes. You don't just go to court on hearsay.
All right, Mr. Darlington.
She's waiting for those documents.
Mr. Darlington, the next question is, so who actually signed the president's CSU certificate? If El-Norah Daniel is saying that she never saw any name like that, if she's also saying that she came into that institution 17 years after the acclaimed time that the president said that particular certificate was tendered to him, who signed his certificate? If El-Norah Daniel is saying that she doesn't know and has never come across any name Tinubu, then whose name or whose document or whose identity is the president referring to? And why is the school not divulging the real details of things themselves? I mean, to clear their name too, if at all there is anything underhanded play.
That is where the suspicion of forgery has come in. That is where the suspicion of forgery has come into this matter. Because the two men that signed those that certificate, they were not even in that university at the time this thing was done. And this is why I told you last week that every suspected criminal always leaves a trace. They cannot be too clever. Any criminal lawyer who look closely to any criminal matter will find a loophole which the criminal did not think of. And that is what is happening here now. All the men that signed those certificates, Tinubu never reckoned that they will come up in 2023. And that was what happened. Apparently, they wanted to do it in such a way that those people, because they were not available, they were not there, therefore nobody will remember their name. It is not enough. Any lawyer, the first thing a lawyer looks at whenever he has a man, is to study the document, give it to him. He will look at the date, look at the names, look at the circumstances, whether they tally. That was what Atiku's lawyer discovered.
All right, Mr. Darlington, do you think it's because of this? Do you think this is the reason why the president said that anything concerning divulging, if the school divulges his academic records, that there will be irreparable harm against him? Could this be one of the things he meant by making that statement?
Well, you cannot eat your cake and have it too. Esther, I just need irreparable damage. If it were the other way around, I know what Tinubu would have done. He would have done worse things. So what is irreparable damage? Tell me. You mean he was not conversant to what was done for him, or he didn't know what was it?
No, I'm asking you that with what is on with the development that has come up now. El-Norah Daniel is suing, and she's saying that she doesn't know anybody by that name. She's also saying that how can she be the one to sign that document when she resumed her duty in that institution, 18 years or 17 years after. This was in 1979 that the president claimed. So the question now, do you think the school management, because again, I remember asking you the last time we had a conversation concerning this, do you think the school can also be indicted? Because they haven't come out clearly to say anything. On 2 occasions, the school has publicly come out to claim that the president indeed attended the institution. They also came out to say that it is possible that there was a technical error, that is an error in imputing the president's name, his gender, his dates, the dates he attended the institution as well. So when that anomaly is seen, that it is understandable that we should accept it, because in 1979, things were manually done. That was basically what one of the Secretary Caleb Westberg claimed in his affidavit. So if El-Norah Daniel is coming now to say she has no idea, she doesn't know his name, how can she sign something like that when she was not even in the institution at the time, and claiming that the document is being forged and she intends to sue? Then the question is, between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his legal team, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the Chicago State University, who is lying?
The ladies should sue all of them. When they go to court, they will not begin to exonerate themselves. In fact, the ladies should sue Nigerian government, INEC, even our court. That lady should sue everybody, because they are the ones that accepted that certificate as genuine. She should sue all of them. That is my take in this matter. By the time they all get to court, they will not begin to say what they know and what they do not know. Then the person that issued that certificate will now surface. Because somebody helped Tinubu to do all those things. Somebody did it for him. Maybe he himself will now come out and say who issued that certificate to him. That is why she should sue everybody, because as of now, we don't know who issued that certificate that he paraded. The lady should not say anybody among all these people, including the Chicago State University, because somebody there must be operating for Tinubu. Somebody in that university is fighting for Tinubu. I'm telling you that the university may not even know what was going on. They may not know. I am telling you. And money is going into all this. That's why they are suppressing all this information this far. Somebody is fighting Tinubu in that university. So the lady should sue everybody. Let them come out and explain what happened. Maybe from there, other things will come up. That's what I'm suggesting to that lady. Let her sue everybody. Because they are complicit in this matter.
Mr. Darlington.
Why should this thing continue for this? Even in that particular US, can this thing go on this far? Can it continue like this? Look at how this thing has messed up everybody. Look at our people complaining all over the world. What this thing has brought to them. Every Nigerian man is a suspect. Because if you are number one image maker is having this kind of problem, and you people are tolerating it, that means that is the class of Nigerians. Under the principle of syllogism, if your first one is a criminal, your second is a criminal, your third is a criminal. If the fourth one come back and say, no, I'm not among them, nobody will believe him. That is syllogism.
Mr. Darlington, let me ask you something. Osita Chidoka, a former aviation minister, made a statement, or rather, he said something that was quite important to ponder on. Okay, so he said that if the president did not present his primary or secondary school certificates, should our courts be concerned with the technicality of the process of tendering the CSU certificates? He also made another statement that where are the institutions that are meant to investigate this? For example, a document was tendered to INEC. He asked the question, isn't it the place of INEC to investigate the validity of that document? Where is the DSS? Where is the EFCC? Where is the ICPC to make sure that these things are not things that is a grand norm in this part of the world? Do you think Osita is asking a credible question?
He is not asking pertinent questions. Do you know the problem of Nigeria? We respect names. We respect the so-called big men, untouchable. Whatever they tell us, we swallow it in hook, line, and sinker. That is why nobody bought that. And you know what Tinubu went for this Chicago State? He wanted us to know that he's a graduate. That he said that he had a first class, and they gave him college. So he wanted to blow up his image.
Mr. Darlington, but who is the institution that is meant to investigate this questionable certificate in this country? Who is the right institution to investigate this, since the president tendered it to the Independent National Electoral Commission?
Good. Before you come up for any electoral position, even to as to be appointed as a minister or anything,
okay,
the DSS, they have the responsibility to clear you, even the police. I am sure these people are a walkover to Tinubu. They didn't bother to go into details about me. That is why we are suffering this embarrassment. You can see what I'm telling you. If they have done the needful, what will stop DSS from going to that Chicago news to find out these things? Even without Tinubu knowing. And when they come out, they will tell Nigeria these are findings. So, and the matter will end here with our courts. They will go to court and say, look, the same way they did for Magu. Magu was never confirmed. For the many years he was there because they had issues with him. Why didn't they do the same thing with Tinubu to save us all this embarrassment? That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Darlington.
He did not mention the primary and secondary because those ones he has already lied about it some time ago.
Mr. Darlington.
I was to check because that was between Lagos State and Tinubu.
Mr. Darlington.
His position in Lagos State.
All right, in defense, the legal team of the president, in defense to the Nelson Maldonado's judgment that the records be released to Atiku Abubakar as soon as possible, the legal team of the president actually stated that this document would not be useful to Atiku before the Supreme Court in Nigeria. Is that true?
Now, Esther, I have told you that criminal matter does not die.
I know, but I'm just asking, is it possible? Because the legal team of the president seem very certain.
Hold on. Yes, I agree with them because one, the matter has gone on appeal to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And at that level, you are not expected to bring in any other evidence. That is it. That was what they were, all this delay and all that. That is the reason for all this delay. They know that since the matter has gone to appeal to the Supreme Court now, you can't bring any other document. What the Supreme Court is going to do now is to review what happened at the appeal court. Simplicity. But I am telling you, Esther, listen and listen well. The Supreme Court have wide powers. Because of what this particular issue has cost Nigeria and the entire Nigerian judiciary, I expect them, listen very well, I expect our Supreme Court to do that which is extraordinary. And what is that? They should at least introduce what as you call locus classicus in this matter.
Okay.
They should introduce it. Because the Supreme Court has the right to make a law. Based on what is on ground now, I expect them to introduce locus classicus.
Locus classicus.
Yes. Something novel. So that nobody will come and say, you mean it's the rule? Based on this evidence that is coming from US, anybody will come and blame them for going against the law? Is the law, is it not to do justice? Is that not what the law is all about? So you mean if this document will come and the Supreme Court look at it and say, yeah, based on this fact, this is our decision. Anybody will say the Supreme Court has heard the law? It's not possible. That is why I continue to praise Lord Denny. This is why you would have thought he would even bother with whatever you are saying. He will look, is this thing proper? Is it right? Are we supposed to overlook this thing and continue to support the fraud and the forgery? It will be unthinkable. It will be unthinkable.
All right, Mr. Darlington, let me ask you, what will happen if that El-Norah Daniel sues the president? What does it portend for the president? If she sues the president for forgery, if she sues the president for lying on her because he claimed that she was the one who actually signed the certificate, what then do you think will happen? Do you think anything will happen to the president in this part of the world? Will it make any difference?
So his image abroad, he may be declared a persona non grata in some countries.
Okay.
The president may be declared persona non grata in some countries in this world. If that is go, the lady can go all out to publish his name everywhere. I'm telling you, this is no longer a matter of diplomacy. No.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, does this mean, I bring you back again to the second or the third question I asked you earlier. I said, could this be the very reason why the president pleaded that his record should not be released to Atiku Abubakar, but just the certificate, when he stated that there will be irreparable harm to him, to his person? Could this, would I say, spillover of this situation, this controversy, be what the president was referring to?
Exactly. These are the things he's running away from. But like I told you, you cannot eat your cake and have it. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You have said the honestness. So why are you running away from the trouble you created? Who will now clean up your mess? You have to clean it up. That is why you must be diligent in whatever you are doing. Leadership is not a tea party. Look, during the Independence Day celebration, I was trying to visualize Tinubu's composition. I saw a man that is remorseful, a man that is frustrated, a man that has lost his team, a man that was indirectly appealing to Nigerians to forgive him. That was why the usual vibrancy and showmanship was not in that speech.
No, but according to him, he said the reason why the Independence Day celebration, or rather Independence Day, would I say, entire ceremony was on a low key was because of the current state of the nation. He talked about poverty. He knew that people were suffering. He also mentioned a couple of other issues that is currently bedeviling the nation. And in understanding to that effect, that is basically why the celebration was low key. So beyond his aura, definitely he had to express his demeanor in such a manner for him to get the understanding of the nation.
We have been suffering since the Tinubu era. Over 8 years ago, Nigerians have been suffering. At what point did the Tinubu started sympathizing with Nigerians and to, align with their position? Nigerians have been suffering. They are down. They need no fault. He's talking about himself. He's remorseful. I told you here, he's remorseful. He cannot tell me that with what has happened so far, he sees the same person. No.
So what damage control do you think the president will do now with the way things, every day there is a development concerning this particular CSU situation, this saga? There is always a development every day. El-Norah Daniel has come up. Now, if the school releases the academic records to Atiku Abubakar, then she says she's going to sue. We're still waiting. The legal team of Atiku Abubakar haven't told us if the document has been released. They said within 48 hours, all his academic records should be released to him. Now, the question is, if the legal team of the president has eventually disclosed that it will be of no use at the Supreme Court, then what exactly is the effort? Is the effort to just in every way possible make any exposition, or in every way possible discredit the president? What exactly is the essence of the pursuit?
The effort is not in futility. 2027 is coming. Besides, any Nigerian can take Tinubu to court based on that document, even though he needs to cover him. But, my dear, he cannot be the same again. That is the issue here. Both within and outside Nigeria. That is why I was thinking that Tinubu should have done the needful earlier on.
Which is?
Starting Salisu Buhari.
Which is?
Did it in 1999 when he was embroiled in this type of matter.
Okay.
Even Rotimi would have defended him. But when Rotimi advised him to apologize to Nigeria, and he did, when the evidence was overwhelming, Salisu Buhari, who was supposed to be a speaker, the same thing, but the guy apologized. And he went back to the house as an ordinary person. Nobody even remembered him today. Nobody. Because of the way he took that matter. But in this case, for reasons best known to Tinubu, he thought he will fight his way. I don't know what he was thinking. With all the avalanche of evidence, I don't know what he was thinking.
Okay, so the question is, what move do you think is good? What move do you think his legal team will do now? What move do you think they will take now? What other move will they use to counter what El-Norah Daniel has said? What other move will they use to counter what she has said? Or is it possible for the president to just make a public apology to the nation and appeal that this whole situation should be put aside and let us look forward to national development?
Let me advise you. Let me advise even Tinubu lawyers.
Okay.
They should be careful. The woman has told them not to file any appeal in her court. Is that not true?
Yes, she said so.
If they begin to rush from one court to the other in the United States, in fact, they may buy them. I am telling you, if they begin to compromise the U.S. judiciary, they may find themselves into trouble. Go and ask the lawyer that defended in the UK what he suffered. They don't have time for all these shenanigans that we are doing here. They should come home and lick their wounds. That is what I will advise them. They should come home and lick their wounds. Like I told you, we are waiting for the Supreme Court to do the needful now. With what is available now. If that, let Atiku submit it, whether they want to make use of it or not. Let it be on record that yes, such a thing is existing. But to think that any other thing can be done, it is a lie. Nothing can be done.
Mr. Darlington, a couple of supporters of the president have said that Atiku Abubakar is not being truthful to himself and to the nation. A couple of critics also are asking that is it possible for this whole certificate saga to be put aside and let us look forward? Do you think Atiku Abubakar is just literally flogging a dead horse? Do you think he should not go further in pursuing this and let there be national cohesion so that the president can concentrate on moving the economy forward? What exactly do you think at this moment should be the right course of action?
In fact, Atiku has done a great job. You see, Atiku, he is not your usual northerner. I'm telling you, he is not your usual northerner. You remember he was the one that shot down Obasanjo to Dead Dam Beach. It was this time Atiku. So this man has been doing a great job. Let nobody criticize him in a bad light. The man has done what the whole Nigerians refuse to do. We should thank him for doing this. This is an age-long secret. Look at 1979. 1979, nobody bothered. Other things that had to do with Tinubu in Lagos and in Nigeria, has anybody bothered to look into it? No. No, nobody has bothered. So how long can we continue to live in infamy, in deceit and fraud? How long? Are we not supposed to have a clean leadership so that Nigeria can move forward? Nobody should blame Atiku. He has done a very great job. He's a great, like, as far as I'm concerned, he did if I'm in his shoes, I will do the same thing. What he does is not useless at all. I want to see how Tinubu will rise up politically after this matter.
Well, I think he has been able to reach the pinnacle of his political career. He's now the president of the nation. Possibly he will look for other international positions after, his tenure is done. I think for him, this was basically the height of his political career, where he wanted to actually be the president of the nation, as he is referred to as a kingmaker. Don't you think that's basically what it is?
Are you serious? Do you know that some presidents became more popular after their tenure? People like Mandela, people like our own Jonathan, people like even Julius Nyerere, you know of them. Bill Clinton, they became popular after their president because of their work, what they did in office, and their character and their integrity. Will Tinubu be in the same class with them? Answer me. Will he? It's not about occupying a position. It's about your integrity, your character. What happens after? What happens after? In the AU building in Addis Ababa, Esther, as the guards of Africa, all our presidents are supposed to have a hall there. Nobody from Nigeria. But you have a Julius Nyerere, you have a Mandela Hall in the AU building in Addis Ababa.
So with this particular development, Mr. Darlington, do you think for Nigeria to move forward, since today is the second day after Independence Day, do you think these are one of the tenets for which our political elites should try as much as possible to be truthful to Nigerians? Don't you think that's a strong way through which we can move forward in the nation?
Of course. When we say leadership is all about integrity of character, that is the meaning. Look at Donald Trump in the US. With all his power and everything, look at him. I am sure by next year, March 24, that man may be going to jail. The American society, they don't have any respect for you. They only respect their law and their God. That is why no matter who you are, they will bring you down if you contravene their laws.
Right.
They have done it severally.
All right, Mr.
So
Darlington.
why can't we do the same? Did you not copy this democracy from America? Why do we choose one and leave the other one? Is that not bad leadership that I kept up here with today? Esther, answer me. Is it not bad leadership?
Certainly, those are one of the strong issues of the nation.
That we need Nigeria to hit the radio. What is wrong? What is wrong? Eh? Why can't you have it right once? Let us have a leader that the world Africa can emulate. I mentioned 2 Africans here. Why can't we have somebody like that in Nigeria? Why can't we?
All right, Mr. Darlington, I want to say thank you so much for being part of the World News at 12. I sincerely do appreciate your input. Once again, happy Independence Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, good day, my brothers and sisters, my mummies and my daddies over there. Is your sister again, your doctor, your friend, your girl, Anointed Lady TV. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe for me. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will be notified. So in this my channel, I will be bringing up many things to you in which you will benefit from it. I do talk show, I do news, anything you want to talk about, I am into it. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video or each time I'm on live on YouTube, you will be notified. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Please do subscribe for me, and as you do so, God will richly bless you and meet your heart desire. Thank you very much. I love you all. Yes, so my people, as I tell you, I say I will come back. I don't come back, and I will come back. As soon as I see that video, when I watch, I will see them. I want more to leave on a comment for the comment section there. More to tell me how una see the matter, whether it good or it bad. If it good, make una let me know. If it still bad, make una still let me know. I need to bring and come give una wey be my people wey dey here. Make una follow me shoot mouth put whether it dey good or it dey bad. So if it dey right, una still leave una comment below. If it dey bad, una still leave una comment below. Una remember say everybody gets freedom of speech. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So if you dey watch me, you never subscribe, my brother, sister, I beg you in the name of God, make you hit that red button and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will get notification and you will constantly watch me. Thank you very much. See you again in my other video. I love you all. Bye bye.